So Minecraft, this is Fel. I'm here to give you a tutorial on logic gates and their uses for them. Logic gates are really helpful in helping control your inventions, as well as maybe implement some new features that you can now start messing around with. You might be having some trouble with your inventions, and maybe one of these can help you. Okay, so let's get started. Our first logic gate is going to be the flip-flop. So let's get out what we need for the flip-flop. These logic gates are really simple to make. Okay, so what we need any type of block. Again, I use wool. My logic gates are red, so I use a red wool. Okay, then we're going to need a sticky piston. We're going to need a button. And we're going to need our standard redstone equipment. Okay, and that's all we need right there. Okay, so our first is a flip-flop. We're going to be making a flip-flop, and I will explain what the flip-flop does as soon as I make it. It's a lot easier to see as it's working. Okay, so we're going to dig down 2 blocks, and then we're going to put a redstone torch on each of the block. And then we're going to look at our redstone torch, get our cloth, and we're going to build up. We build up 2 like that. So build up 2 and then over 1. Okay, next we're going to be placing our sticky piston. So we're going to look this direction. Okay, then we're going to look at this block right here and then place the sticky piston that way so that it's facing this way. And we're going to do the same on this side. Okay. Now, right here is your output line. So the flip-flop, what it does is it switches between 2 different outputs. And the way to split them up is you just put a repeater here and then 2 repeaters here. So this is output line 1, and as you can see it's powered, and then this is output line 2. So this comes right here. And because the reason why this works is this block right here is over the redstone torch and is getting powered, and then the power goes out. Okay, now let's finish building this flip-flop. So we're going to put a redstone torch here and a redstone torch here on the other side. And then we're going to put redstone on top. Now as you can see, it flipped over, and now this side is being powered. Right? Because the block is over this torch now. Okay, so our input line is going to come in from right here. Okay, and we're just going to put in redstone, and that's it. That's the flip-flop. I'll put a button on it so you can reset it. If anything goes wrong, you can always manually reset it. So the flip-flop works on a pulse. So now this thing will only flip over if it gets powered and then the power goes off. So that means that you can use a lever as well. A lever. You see, it doesn't move, but as soon as the power comes off, see, then it switches over. You see like that. So that's the flip-flop, and there's a lot of things you can do with the flip-flop. This is one of the most common logic gates that I use. But let's say you want to make a door. So let's say this is underneath your house. Okay, you dig down a little bit, and then put this in. Okay, and then you put a block here, a torch. And remember, when a redstone torch gets powered, it goes off. Okay, and then put the door up here. So this right here would be the top of your house where players go in. So this is really useful because it's a flip-flop and not using levers to open the door. This flip-flop can have multiple inputs. So you can have a button outside your house to open your door, and then you can also have a button somewhere in here, and then you'd wire it to the flip-flop, and that way you don't have to worry about any levers being on or anything, and your house will always be locked. As long as you close it as soon as you get inside your house. So that's one, one good use of the flip-flop. There's a lot of uses really for a flip-flop. But this is how I make doors, because you can have multiple inputs. Okay, so our next gate is going to be the power limiter. Alright, so what this power limiter does is it takes a steady input and it converts it to a pulse. Now, the pulse is... Sometimes you need a pulse rather than a steady input line to like control a flip-flop or do other things that you want. And a lot of times your output for your power is a steady, like right here your flip-flop output is a steady. So if you wanted this flip-flop but needed a pulse, then you would hook this up to it. So here's how you build it. So what we want to do is we want to place a block here and a block here. Okay, and then we're going to get a repeater and we're going to place it in the middle. And we're going to click the repeater 3 times. Okay, and we're going to get our torch, place a torch here, and we're going to place a torch here. And you're going to get some redstone and 3 redstone. 1, 2, 3. So this is turning it off. So that's done. The power limiter is done. So to show it working, I'm going to place a piston right here. So this is your output line. This is your output. So again, a steady power, a steady input converts to a pulse. As you can see, it's still steady and it's actually off. It just pulsed out. So again, if you wanted this to go to a flip-flop, control flip-flop, and all you would do is you would come over here and just connect it, just connect your output line. Right there. So now what this will do, it will control the flip-flop. You see that? Okay, so we got one more logic gate, and this is the AND gate. And this basically is an if statement. If both sides are powered, if both inputs are powered, then give an output the power. So here, I'll just build it and show you what I mean. So what we're going to do is we're going to build 3 blocks, 1, 2, 3. And we're going to put a redstone torch on top. Redstone torch. And we're going to put redstone in the middle. And then put... That village is pretty cool over there. And then put a redstone torch. I want to go check it out. Okay, so this is our input line. Okay, so this is basically saying... Hold on, let me give the example piston. This is basically saying if this side is powered and this side is powered, then give power to this. So this is useful for, I use this for games. I have it so if one player, or like for games that require 2 or more players, so one player has to be on the pressure plate here, the other player has to be on the pressure plate here. Well, let's do that real quick. All you gotta do is build, you'd build under it. Make sure it's stone pressure plate so they can't glitch it. And now this is saying that, another player has to be standing here. Well, let's make it wood so we can glitch it. And see... So it's saying, 2 players or whatever. I mean, you can do it. You can use it for a lot of different things. And okay, so another, because this is a steady output power, then if you needed this to go to flip-flop, then you just do your next step of your circuit. Oh, this is coming off close. So build power inverter I'm just building a small circuit just to show you. You always build your circuits in stages. Okay, you never think of it as a whole. So you think of it, okay, so what am I going to do? I'm going to have it 2 players are required to open a door. So, okay, so we need the AND gate first. So you build your AND gate. Okay, now you need this going to a flip-flop. Well, a flip-flop requires a pulse. So this comes as steady power, so we need a pulse. So you build a power inverter. It's just, our next step in the process. And then you're saying, okay, well, next I need the flip-flop, so I build a flip-flop. Hold on, let me build this real quick for you. So you build a flip-flop, and then what do I need next? I need a door. So what am I gonna? Oh yeah, you can connect it like this. Oh, I need a door. Okay, well, I'll have this be my door then. And there you go. You just made it so 2 players are required to open a door. So, 2 players are required to open the door. Whoops. Oh, sorry. Let me do it again. Yeah, see? And then to close it, maybe have a switch here and then bring it down to here. Just flip it back or whatever. Okay, so this pretty much does it for the logic gates. I'm going to be showing one more. It's not really logic gate. It's called an oscillator. And this is used for creating a pulse, a timed pulse. And it's really simple to make. All you need is 1 block. Okay, and you put a redstone torch. Now to create the pulse, we're going to use a repeater. Put 1 repeater here, 1 repeater here. Connect them to 3, or click them 3 times. Okay, and then connect it. And as you can see, this is pulsing. Now to turn this off, it requires power. So you just give it power. Maybe a flip-flop to turn this off. Something. Okay, so this can be used for making really long timers, like 15-minute long timers. If you check out the other tutorial that I made, my counter tutorial, at the very end I explain how to make a really long timer without using a million repeaters. You just you make a counter, and you have this pulse to the counter, and then it counts to a number, and then well, yeah, if you just watch the tutorial, I explain it all. One more thing, if you want this to get a really long pulse, you just add more repeaters, and click them to 3. And then connect, and see, now we have a longer pulse. This is used. I use this for mini games as well. If you connect this to a dispenser and put zombie eggs in it. So let's say, okay, so for example, you have the counter that I have in my other tutorial. Make a counter that counts to 20. That's your wave counter. Okay, and then you have that. So wave 1 would be, you have it trigger it on for a little bit, and then it spits out a few zombies, and then you'd have it trigger off, and then that would be your wave 1, and then you have this go to a timer, which is shown in the other tutorial, and then have that go to your counter, which goes to wave 2, and then wave 3, wave 4, and this is basically all you need to make a mini game. Is a counter and this, and just wire them up together. And in one of my other tutorials, I'm gonna build a small mini game and show you guys each of the components. of building a mini game. It's really easy once you know the components. It just takes a long time to build because it's just a lot of work. It looks like it's a redstone hell, but it really isn't. It's just a whole bunch of steps. As long as you think of creating your inventions in steps and not as one giant unit. Like this, you needed 2 players. Goes to a pulse or goes to steady power, but you need it to go to a pulse for the flip flop. You just do it in steps. It's a lot easier to build, and you don't get so overwhelmed. Okay, well that does it for logic gates. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, just comment below. Make sure you subscribe. I'm going to be posting a lot more tutorials on how to build inventions, as well as a few more redstone or things you can do with redstone, and some things that I've come up with. Alright, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe.